Hello all, it's James Johnson, aka Sulfurblade. Welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my content, and welcome back to Football Coach College Dynasty. So it's the beginning of Season 7, and I am still at Northern Illinois University. I was hoping to have been gone from here by now, but I just haven't gotten the offers from the types of colleges I'm wanting to move to. Some okay offers, but sadly nothing that has really given me the desire to move. So here we are in Northern Illinois University, and we have basically the best team we've ever had this year. There's no doubt about it. This is far and away the strongest team we've had the privilege to coach to date. Which leaves us with the quandary of how to train this team. Everybody's really good. Now, I've always focused on offensive line, and I think I'm still going to do that. Offensive line is a goal I think that's of utmost. It's a can I use proper words today? Offensive line is the key to winning any ball game, as far as I'm concerned. It's your offensive line that wins the game more than anything else. We have 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore in the front 5. And a senior who's almost in the front 5. I mean, we could swap these guys out. However, I plan to invest a little bit of time and effort into this sophomore, so he's probably gonna still beat out this senior for the top spot here. What do we need this guy to do? Compared to the rest of the line, he seems to be weaker, right? He doesn't have the strength everybody else does. So let's start him off with some strength. Alright, that brings him up to the 80s. So we have an offensive line where all 5 of the starters are 80 plus, which is the first time in our squad's history. We have a sophomore down here who has okay potential. B is not bad. There's also this A- sophomore down here as well. However, this guy's an A+. Do I really want to invest in a person that's not actually technically in the lineup, if you will? So it's these 3 that are the backups. If I did invest into him, he could definitely move up into the backup spot. Yeah, we're gonna work on his run blocking. If somebody gets hurt, well, we just have, and there, he's moved up. He's already number 8. Anyway, if someone gets hurt, we have better guys waiting in the wings to continue to push the squad forward. However, I think that's all I'm going to do with the offensive line this year. Senior, junior, senior, junior. Our tight ends are a bit on the older side. I need some young tight end to come in and help that position out. Sophomore, C++, C++, sophomore, A-. He's still technically in the starting lineup. Alright, we haven't trained a wide receiver ever. This will be the first time that we've put any effort on a wide receiver. What is it about this guy that I like? Well, he's got good speed, right? Solid catching. He's looking like an outside receiver, but his route running is just terrible. Doesn't have great ball security either. Let's give him route running. Alright, so that has moved him up the depth chart, if you will. Running backs. So we have a bit of a quandary on our running back position, and that's that I don't know which one is technically our featured back. So we've got better vision and better security with Nicholas. However, Nicholas has 79 and 72 pass blocking. So he's the better blocking back, but he's also the better back for the ball carrier vision. He's got 90 speed. Wow. Sophomore and freshman. We're going to have these guys for a while. I really think this guy is a fullback. Fullback is what I want him to do. I want him to be able to do everything a fullback can do. He's already got the blocking under control. He definitely can run the ball. But if he's going to be the true I can do it all back, well, he needs to catch. And his catching isn't bad for a running back, but it could be better. And, well, a little bit better. We'll put a little more effort in. Now, that probably leaves us putting a head coach training into Stephen Dickens here. He's slower than my other back. He's not as good of a blocker. I think we work on his speed. Nice 4-point gain in speed. Very nice. Okay, 84 speed. That's solid. He's really going to be a solid back here. Going to give us a lot of flexibility. And the thing with him is he's durable, where he's not. Alright, kickers. We always put points on the kickers, and we will continue that trend. We have a new freshman kicker. Do we train him at all? And he's a C potential. This guy's still a sophomore. Alright, kick power. Not bad. I hate really sticking stuff into punters. Well, I don't mind sticking stuff into punters per se. It's I don't like sticking stuff into a senior with an F potential. I think he's already got the punt power right now to get off good, long, thundering, booming punts for the field position battle. His punt accuracy is a little lacking. So getting those perfect, angled kicks where you're trying to pin someone deep at the 1 yard line, it's going to prove to be a little difficult for him. But for just getting off a long punt to give us a better shield position battle, I think he's more than capable of that. So I don't think I need to spend this training on him. So we'll move on to the defense. Maybe there's somebody on the defense that could use more strength or speed to give him an edge. Okay, we've got 2 juniors here. A sophomore. This sophomore is intriguing. He's got A+ potential. B- durability. Well, these guys are all pretty durable. Actually, right here I see a weak point. This guy is not as smart as his peers. So we will work on that. Okay, now he's a little smarter. I'm gonna give you speed, I think. Alright, wasn't a great breakthrough. This is kind of a train for the future, if you will. A sophomore who's not technically in the starting lineup. I'm getting a little bit of development, as he will probably be in the starting lineup next year as William Bowen here rotates out. How are the linebackers? Alright, this Melrose, Wisconsin guy is a freshman, and he's got A potential. He is 8th in the depth chart. I think we show him some love. Again, we're working for the future on some of these guys, I think, as we've got a pretty good squad as is. Block shedding? Yeah. Corners. This guy's screaming out to me. A redshirt sophomore. Oh, here's a redshirt freshman. Both of these guys. We're going to give both of these guys some love, I think. Defensive IQ is lacking. Tackling is lacking. Let's make him smarter. Tackling or pursuit? I think tackling. Although this is a corner, coverage skills are important too. I want him to be able to tackle that. Nothing worse than missing a tackle. Right, we've done our training. Kind of a luxury to be able to spend on your depth a bit. Now, what did we see here? We saw that our tight ends were awfully old. So I think we're going to be taking a special notice to some tight ends this year. I'm assuming the game is going to tell us we need tight ends. Yeah. Game says we need 3. The game also says we need to pay attention to offensive linemen this year. Actually, the game is saying we need a lot of needs. So 2, 5, 6, 9, 12, 13 needs. I want to look at something real fast, and that is, how many seniors do I currently have? I have 18 seniors. So we basically have 18 positions that we can fill. We're going to try to go after 18 players this year then. Back to recruiting. We'll start with tight end. None of these junior college transfers. We'll turn that off. I'm going to look all the way at the top of the charts here, as I think we're getting to the point where we can start competing for the top talent, or at least giving it a shot. Surprisingly, of the tight ends, we have a couple possibilities here that are already leaning in our favor. We have this guy. We'll spend a scout on him. No, we don't want him. This guy is leaning towards us. C+. This guy is interested. C+. This guy's interested. B-, it's a little better. These would be the cream of the crop here. This guy's probably the absolute cream, but the chances that we're going to land him, yeah, we're not to that level yet. But being able to recruit off the front page is something we haven't had the luxury of. So we'll target him for sure. Alright, we got a guy who's interested here. B+, yeah, we'll definitely target him. Another guy interested here. A-, yeah, we'll target him. I think we already got our tight ends. Well, we have 3 tight ends targeted. We will go back here to the lost and found and target the guys people don't want to see if there's any hidden talent back here that people are ignoring. All right. All right. 1 to camp, 2 to camp, 3 to camp, 4 to camp. Okay, we're sending 4 guys to camp. That leaves us 6 more camp slots. What other position did we need to look at? Offensive line and linebackers. Alright, offensive line then. Alright, we're going to go to all, and we're going to go back to the bargain basement. We're going to see where the bargain basement stops thereabouts. Give that guy a target. See if there's anyone in front of him. On page 25. Page 24. There is. I doubt there'll be anybody in front of that guy. Look at that, there is. Okay. Two, one. I think we got one more that we can target. Look at that. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These offensive linemen are coming to camp. Now we're gonna look at the offensive linemen that want to come be part of our squad. Or well, the offensive linemen we can compete for. That's probably a better way of putting it. Top 3. Didn't I turn off? These are the guys we can compete for. Sort by overall. Luck, Wisconsin. Don't have enough to scout from 0%, but I'm interested in this guy because he's from Wisconsin. I know, odd reasons to recruit. He's gonna get targeted. Alright. The A can be targeted. Alright, I think that's going to be our offensive lineman that we're going to target, or at least take a look at this go around. Adjust our priority order here. Right, Nathaniel Raymond. linebacker will be the next thing we look at. Yeah, I think so. Where am I going? Top 3. Wow. We have quite a few to choose from here. It looks like we've got a little bit of scouting done here, so let's figure it out. A C70. Alright, well, 70 is a guy that can actually play immediately, if you will. Though I'm not going to want a 70 linebacker playing immediately. That's, you know, starting off at 70 is pretty good. But he's only a C potential. This guy, though, A- potential. We know he's solid. Boy. There are just a lot of linebackers. Everybody wants to play for us now. Alright, you're interesting. 69 overall, you're interesting. Uh, 70 is, yeah, we'll give you a target. I don't like to see potential, but we'll at least target you for now. Alright, he's high. He really wants to come play with us. We'll take a look at him. Alright, that should be enough linebackers to try to sort through. easy one to figure out. Alright, we have just a few people targeted. Now let's go by points ahead estimate. Down at the bottom of all this mess are those guys. So these are the guys that I'm already kind of losing the battle on. Yeah, let's skip the C guy for a second. Alright, the pitches are out. Of course, a lot of these guys, we still don't know if we really actually want them or not, because we haven't unlocked the mystery of if they're any good. But we have a tentative beginning of our first recruiting class. So somewhere to start with. So training's done, recruiting's done. Let's move on to the next week. Let's throw in these practices. Am I gonna overtrain these guys? I think I might. Nice. Got a breakthrough. Look at that. We've got ourselves a complete fullback. Ignore the fact that he's pretty frail and likely will end up injured half the year, but you know, hopefully that doesn't happen. And if he is injured, well, we have this guy to step up for him. Who we want more speed or more evasion? Let's start with making him a downhill back, which means run fast, straight forward, and put your head down. Training's become less effective if I double down on them. No, we're not going to do that. So are we going to spend one of these juniors, maybe? We'll basically dedicate a training to the wide receivers this year. Right, Jake, what are you lacking on? Amazing route running. You're not very fast. You are a slot receiver if I've ever seen one. I think catching. Hold on to that ball when it's thrown your way. Okay, so we used a head coach and a offensive line on the line. Are we gonna double up on these current guys? You know, we might. We're gonna give this guy strength. And we'll give this guy run blocking. Just kinda that was nice here. This sophomore has just elevated himself up the ladder, I think. What an offensive line we got this year. Very nice. Okay, kickers. Yes, we double up on kickers. That's fine. Kicking power it is. Wow. Okay, time to switch over to accuracy. Okay, so we spent a head coach and a defensive coach on the defensive lineman. Okay, speed 75. So he's fast, but his pursuit is in the crapper. Speed 63, pursuit 79. He's slow, but his pursuit's decent. And speed 79, pursuit 84. I think you're an end. Which one of these two is going to be our end? Speed 63, speed 75. Yeah, I'm thinking nose tackle on this guy, really. He's got incredible strength. His speed's pretty good, but his pursuit's lackluster. To make him an incredible nose tackle, what should we give him? Tackling, probably? Nice. Alright, so if you're the nose, that means you're going to have to be the end, which means you just don't have the speed for it. You need the speed. You have a need for speed. Good. Oh, it's a little faster. Alright, so the defensive line has gotten its love. We gave linebackers something. Although, are we going to continue to work on this guy? Or are we going to spread the love? Yeah, honestly, I should spread the love. We've got a sophomore up here in the starting lineup. What could he use? This is a linebacker. Well, what position is this linebacker playing? Good question. 101 defensive IQ. Is he our middle linebacker? Well, that depends. Who's got the speed to be on the outside? 66, 67, 75, 73. Of 82. Yeah, he's looking like an interior linebacker in my mind. So if he's going to be on the interior, he's already pretty godly. Am I really going to give a linebacker man coverage? Would block shedding really make more sense? Block shedding. Alright. We gave our linebacker position its love. We spent 2 trainings on the corner. We're going to double up. Oh, we might. You're a corner, so you need to have coverage skills. Damn our luck. Okay. Got coverage, but you're not very smart. Alright, now back to recruiting. Sort by potential. Go see who we're going to be cutting. Oh, we don't know their potential. Alright, you're gone. You're gone. You're gone. 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 Gone with the wind. Yeah, gone. C from the bargain basement? No. No. We're going to throw some scouts on these guys that we might be able to see what they are this turn. Alright, he's gone. He's gone. We've just gotten rid of a lot of people. Alright, these remaining 5 percenters. Got a 10 camp. 1, 2, 3. 4. Alright, this 10 percenter can go to camp too. He can go to camp. Alright, what do we literally have left? Got a lot of linebackers left, actually. We don't have enough corners to fill our needs. So 4 camp invites, and they're probably going to corners this time around. So, all recruits. And down to the bargain basement we go. Try up at 19. Yep, there's a guy here. Target him. Anyone at 18? 17? Yes. $16. I don't think we're going to find any more going in this direction. Right, we went to 18. We found a guy at 18, didn't we? I thought we did. Okay, 19's been targeted. This guy will target. I think that's enough targets right now to fill our camp invites. Let's go back. One, two, three, four. That's everyone we need for camp invites. We do have a couple of scouts that we could utilize for some purpose or another. While I ponder this, I shall be right back. Alright, I am back. So now We need to assign pitches. We've got our camp invites, and we have a couple of scouts to use. Is there another position we're not quite stocked on or not feeling so good about? Offensive line, we're on the very edge. Who do we have right now? By position, we have these three offensive linemen. 63. Oh, we don't know anything about you yet. I think we need to take a look at some at least another offensive lineman. Actually, all the offensive linemen we sent to camp, none of them panned out. Turn off junior college and transfers. Yeah, we looked at you. B- isn't great. It's not horrible. Well, for now, B- is better than nothing. Let's target 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. 5 potential. Right, he's 30% B 64. Okay, just went down. Got our scouts assigned. Right, working from the bottom up. This linebacker that we're not sure we're even wanting to compete for is going to get that pitch. This cornerback. Right, pitches have been handed out. Okay, we're gonna practice up. Let's go to am I happy with what I've put into him? I am. I don't think I need to keep sinking training into him right now. I am gonna continue to stick a speed into you, because every couple of points of speed is going to actually matter in your case. So that means I could use one of his training on one of these guys down here. Now he's a freshman at A-. He's a freshman at B. He's a freshman at C+. Okay, C durability, C- durability, D+ durability. Austin Betty, I think you're the one that makes sense. What the hell are you? Good question. You just don't really have the speed and strength to be a viable running back as of yet, I don't think. Alright, well then what about these guys? He's got speed and evasion, so he's more of an elusive back, which is what he's called. He's got the ball carrier vision. Okay, he's got vision, he's got speed, he's got evasion. He's got things that are acceptable-ish, where he could be useful now. Then there's this junior. This junior is actually not horrible. He can catch. His vision and security ain't bad. He's got acceptable speed and evasion. He's serviceable. He could actually be useful. I don't see an ability to make these two useful right now in this upcoming season. However, this guy, I do see him possibly being useful. Ball security. Alright, so we've done our running back trainings. Now a wide receiver gets to be worked on. Sophomores and juniors would be preferable. Well, this guy is fast. It's got adequate catching. good durability. Catching. Okay, offensive line, we've been doing one of each. Are we going to continue to pump these two? I feel like if we do that, we confuse the starting linebacker issue. I think we should be happy with what we've done here. I think we continue to pump this guy. But with what? With run blocking? Or strength? I think we're going to give him strength. Nice. And then with the offensive coach training on the linebackers, are we going to put it on a senior? We might, because his pass blocking is just not up to as much snuff as I would like it to be. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's in the starting lineup, and he's a junior, and his run blocking really is not where I would like it to be. Yeah, he makes more sense. Run blocking. Okay, kickers, kicking accuracy, I think, this time. Very nice. He's still a sophomore, too. Alright, I obviously used a head coach training on the defensive linemen, and I used a defensive coach training on them. What is it we were trying to do with you? I think you're the interior defensive lineman. Yeah. Which means we're trying to turn you into an end. You could use with more speed. Unfortunately, we didn't get a good roll. That means of these guys, we can use a defensive coach. Where should we? defensive IQ is a little lackluster. Alright. Alright, we gave one training to the linebackers, it looks like. I'm thinking this sophomore gets some love. Alright, we're going heavy on these two corners. Got a breakthrough in tackling. Nice. Right, that's our trainings. Back to recruitings. Let's change to potential. We will go to the bottom of the basement here. Get rid of this guy. He's gone. He's gone. That's that Wisconsin guy that he didn't pan out. He's gone. Cornerbacks, gone, gone, gone. Two, three, 4, 5. Did we find? Oh, okay, let's sort by position. We have our wide receiver. Yes? Yes. Tight ends. We need 3. I'm fine with the tight ends we've chosen. We'll even go after this guy because He's got potential. Who knows what he could do in the off seasons? Maybe he'll catch up with the rest of his peers. I don't mind having a high potential guy on the squad. Offensive lineman. I don't think we're there yet, right? 2, 3. These are the 3 we know of. We're fine with these 2. I would like to get someone a little bit better here. So, but we have all of these guys going to camp for the offensive line, so should be good here. Kickers, defensive line. Are we happy with our defensive lines? Got 2 here. We've got an A- and a B-. Yeah, we're happy with DL. Linebackers. B, B-, B+, A-, B. So we're got a 62 overall through a 70. We don't need all of these linebackers. Technically, we need 3. One, 2, 3. Okay, you can go. I think we're going to scout our linebackers. 57% C70. Didn't change. 51 B68. Didn't change. One more time. Drop down a little. 55 A- 66. Went up a little. B+ 67. Okay, we got a gem here. B 62. 61, yeah, you're gone. You dropped. Shit. Four linebackers, we need 3. We're gonna go after all of them. And cornerbacks. These 2. Hello. I like him. And we're happy with him. So corners we're set on. Really, the only position we're really searching for somebody is offensive line. We have 5 more invites. All right. All recruits. Back to the bargain basement. One, two, three. Four. Five. Count 10 camp. 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means the remainder we will sort by point ahead estimate. Go down to the bottom. Start trying to compete. Alright, so there we have it. To the next week of preseason. Okay, auto practices are in. This is the last week of training. Let's take a look at our safeties, because we haven't looked at them at all, though I'm really happy with our safeties. Look at this. Although some of our safeties are pretty fragile. A lot of our safeties are fragile. We have at least one very durable safety here. Alright, am I going to continue the madness on these guys? Have I gotten anywhere with you? I really feel like I have, actually. Right linebacker. Do we want to go back to the guy we started with? Tackling, pursuit. Let's give him some pursuit. Nice. It's got adequate tackling, adequate pursuit, adequate block shedding, adequate knowledge. His coverage skills are a little lacking. But linebackers, you know, they're always kind of lacking in coverage skills, if you will. I think his big hit is his speed. Otherwise, I think he is pretty serviceable. And he is at the bottom of our linebacker rotation, if you will. Okay, your interior, we're trying to make you an end, and I don't think we're quite yet happy on your speed. We would like to get you to have more speed. We got a breakthrough, which might make us happy about his speed. It does. He can play in now. Alright. You were the first of the linemen that we put any training into. I think we should give you the defensive coordinator training this time around. IQ or tackling? Fundamentals. Let's go tackling. Alright, I'm happy with that. Kicker might be a waste, but yeah, we're going to continue to put a training focus into him. Do I want more accuracy or power? More power. Okay, so he is now 93-93. Offensive line. Who was the first guy we put any training in? Farley. We've put 3 training into him so far. We have. Why? Because he's a sophomore. That's why. He's a sophomore. Yeah, but we'll get confused about who's supposed to be in the starting lineup. Right. This A+ potential junior is saying, hey, you know, you're sort of ignoring me. Why don't you, like, give me some pass blocking or something? Yeah, let's actually do that. Are we concerned about Bradley Orr's lack of run blocking? We are. And that didn't help much. Right, that's going to do it for the offensive line. Alright, wide receiver is going to get a head coach this time around. Really? I don't know about that. Running backs. Ball security. Yeah. Which means I can put a head coach on you. Speed. Right, now I think you're a bit more serviceable, and you're a freshman. This'll basically I'm happy with these two backs allowing us to have a 4-back rotation, which means Zachary Nicholas here with the durability of F+ can stay a little more fresh. Alright, that leaves me with one head coach training, which I'm going to put on a wide receiver. Yes, I might. This wide receiver obviously is a slot. Oh, let's look at... No. Depth chart. Return specialist. Quincy Harrington and Braden Hall are kind of tied for the job. Why? Okay. ball carrier, vision, catching, speed, evasion. Ball carrier vision's better. Catching is almost acceptable. It's your speed. Quincy Harrington wants more speed so that he can solidify this job. So that's what we're going to do. Back to training, to the wide receivers. Quincy Harrington, you're going to get speed. We just spent that on a senior. It's fine. It's the number 1 wide receiver. We'll make him a bit better. And he's our kick returner. It makes sense. Alright. Recruiting actions. We have 10 more camp invites, do we? Okay, let's sort by potential. And we're going to go to the bottom of the basket. You're gone. 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 A C+. Gone. B- offensive line, B- offensive line. A- offensive. Now, yeah, it's time to look at the offensive line a little bit closer by position. We got a B+, a B-, an A-, B+, B, A. Alright, this guy looks very interesting. A- 62. Gem. That's what I thought. Okay, 58A. Gem. 40 B- 54. Oh, sure, make it more complex on us talking about you. I don't think I exactly solved our quandary here. We have 18 seniors. I need to cut down the number of these offensive linemen. Let's sort by just pure overall. Those two are B pluses. Getting rid of this guy. B plus, B, B minus. $60, $59. Your run blocking kind of sucks. You got B minus durability. You got D durability. You got B plus durability. You got B plus durability. I think I'm going to do the durability choice here. You're gone. Durable offensive linemen are preferred, I think. Which means that this gem here is not going to match that, but we're not getting rid of a gem. Okay, we're down to 20. Still need to clean up the chaff a bit here. How many tight ends do we need? We need 3 technically. Are we winning the battle on our tight ends? We are. Yeah, this tight end I said we were going to keep around. We're not going to keep him around, are we? No. He's gone. Alright, that gets us down to 19. We need one more guy gone. I mean, do we need one more guy gone? Is there a battle we're likely going to lose? We have 10 camp invites still. Well, let's invite whoever can come to camp. Because that does give some what is the word I'm looking for? A fair amount of, yeah, they like to attend camps, so they're more likely to join us. It's a good way of recruiting, actually. Can attend camp. Can attend camp. Okay, so we've got our camp visits done. Sort by points ahead estimate. Go down to the bottom. Get that pitch. get this pitch. You get this pitch. You guys are going to get pitches that you don't need, but you're going to appreciate it. You're going to be like, wow, they went out of their way to throw us a pitch. It's not even another college that's interested in us. Yeah, that's how we roll around here. We make everyone feel special. Alright, so we are one person too many, if you will. We have 18 seniors. We have 19 people we're recruiting. There's a good chance that we're going to lose one of these battles. I'm thinking this might be the battle we lose. I'm not so sure as I'm that keen to win him, but we might end up just targeting these 19. Well, yeah, that's probably what we're going to do. We haven't looked at any of the quarterbacks this year, any of the running backs, any of the kickers, any of the safeties. That might be a mistake. Maybe I should. Well, at least the QBs and running backs. Alright, let's just see what is there. Not that I need them, but it might be a disservice not to look at who really wants to come and join us. There's one QB. He's a C+. He isn't amazing. Okay, top threes. Are we on the top three of any amazing recruit out here? A C+, a D, a C+, a C+. Yeah, it's not looking like that's the case. These are all quarter. Well, that's a running back. All right, we're not missing out on anything here, I don't think. All right. We have a couple of pitches. We have nobody to pitch. Should we start scheduling visits? Well, if we schedule the visits first, we get the... Okay. Week 12, Eastern Michigan. Yeah. Tight end. Linebacker. Offensive line. Wide receiver. All right. Visits have been scheduled. I think we're done with preseason, guys. Let's save in advance. Our athletic director, he expects to win at least 9 games and to beat our rival. Booster negotiations. The number of boosters and coach determines how many negotiations can per. 2 base negotiations, 1 bonus negotiation, so 3 negotiations. Will not change. Beat Ball State, beat Ball State. Okay. Hold at least 3 opponents to 100 rushing yards or fewer. You know, that's what we do. We are all about stopping the run. I like that one. We're keeping it. Pass defense. Win 8+ games. That's considered easy, is it? You're probably right. With our squad, we should easily win 8 games. Diamond Donor. Score 25 or more points per game, full season. I'm not sure I like that one. So I don't tend to try to rack up the scoring because of how we play. Hold Kent State to 175 passing yards or fewer. What else do we got here? Get 5+ defensive interceptions full season. Win against Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan, and Ball State. Honestly, I think we should be able to beat all 3 of those teams. I would be disappointed if we didn't beat all 3 of those teams. And it'll pay us more. Okay. I'm not so sure I'm keen on this one, so let's look at it. Score 45+ points in at least 1 game. Convert a min 44% of 3rd downs full season. That's, yeah, I don't know about that. Score 45+ points in at least 1 game. New interest front 7. Hold Ohio State, Army, and Central Michigan to 160 rushing yards or fewer. Ohio State, you had to put Ohio State in there. I don't want anything to do with any goal that revolves around Ohio State. Sorry. Score 25 or more points per game full season. Score 45 points in at least 1 game. Can I just cancel this? Is there a way that I can look back at previous seasons? How often news, rankings, top performers, stats, player to stats at league, postseason games, top performers, award winners, coaching staff, history, game history. Not quite what I'm looking for here. Craig, the Brooks Hall of Fame League. It's not quite what we're looking for. Record book. No. Team wins, team awards. Why can't I just go back to the old schedule? I mean, I feel like there's so many things in this game that are commonplace in other games that just don't exist. Like, I should be able to go to the schedule here, and I should be able to go to the schedule of 2028, 2027, 2026. My team schedule. I want previous years. I want to see how I did in years prior. Where is that? It's got to be in here somewhere, but nothing's ever in a place that's easy to find. Or history, league, Hall of Fame, record book, pro draft, game history? No, matchup history. Alright, well here I can see individual matchups, which I suppose can get me to the information I'm looking for. So, once upon a time in season... Which season? In season 2027, I beat Ball State by 54. Alright, who do we play commonly? Jesus Christ. This is not how I want to look at this. There's a 47-point win against, who is this? Central Michigan on the same season. Unreal. Look at all of these teams. They've got every team in the freaking world in here. Can't I just sort this by my conference or something? Yeah, there's definitely teams I've never played. How about not having teams in here I've never actually frickin' played? Kent State. We beat by 42 one year. Eastern Michigan. We've beaten by 43. Central Michigan, I think I've already looked at. We beat by 47 one year. Bowling Green. 37, 37, 27, 24. Buffalo is at least in our conference. Though, yeah, I didn't expect we'd have any blowouts against them. Akron, I believe, is in our conference. You know, I think that 45-point stat line is a possibility. Let's back to here. It was this one. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for the big win. It pays well. We get one more negotiation. Hold at least 3 opponents. I like this one. I really do. Win 8+ games. I mean, why change something we know we're going to do? Have a cornerback earn all conference honors? Honestly, I believe one of our corners should win all conference honors. I would be shocked if one of our corners didn't. Hold opponent to less than 240 yards per game full season. Nah, this one pays better, and I think we can do that. Alright, save in advance. Alright, first game is against Army. We're still ranked. Wow. Okay, so if we jump into recruiting, let's go, I don't know, point ahead estimate. Alright, B-minus 61. A-minus 63. A-minus 63. A-minus 61. I think you might. A-minus 59. You're attempting to get yourself cut from the squad, guy. A-minus 59. Actually, I realize he's a corner. He's not an offensive lineman, so that's sad. Actually, we were actually kind of relying on that guy. I might have to go out and look at other corners. A-minus 62. Nothing changed. A-58. minus 57. Alright, we got all of our pitches. We used all of our scouts. We need to send offers and schedule a visit. This is a linebacker, so I'll go here. Offer, visit to a linebacker, defensive lineman. Offer. Visit to an offensive line. I want to send him here, but I guess I'm sending him here. It's got good durability. Alright, I'll get an offer. These three I'm not completely sure about yet. And I can take my time offering them. It's not like they have any other alternatives. They have nowhere else to go but to us if we decide that we want them. Yeah, we're done with recruiting. Set practice focus against Army. We are going to rush the ball, and we're going to stop the run, because that is what we do. We'll get those practices in. Depth chart. Start with our quarterbacks. We can leave it as is because these are all redshirt freshmen. No freshmen here to worry about either. However, we want a 4-player rotation. And Zachary Nicholas is the fullback. Third down back. This running back will be used in 3rd and 4th and 5+ situations, typically a better receiver or pass blocker. Zachary Nicholas. 82 strength. $88 strength. $89 ball security. Okay, well, you have slightly better ball security, but you've got the strength and you have decent ball security. Dickens is going to be the short yardage back. No freshmen to be seen here as well. Is a 6-man rotation fine? Yes. Jake Tharp, you are, if I remember right, our slot back. You're definitely outside. We'll leave the rest as auto. Whoops. Tight ends. 66, 69. Well, you're far and away a better. 72 catching. We're going to go with a 4-player. You're a blocking tight end. You're a blocking tight end. You're a receiving tight end. We're going to make you a receiving tight end. All right, our offensive line. All right, Bradley Orr here is our Studley pass blocker that is suffering a bit in the run blocking, which is going to make him a tackle. Maybe the left tackle? Hmm. Yeah, I think Bradley's going to be the left tackle, and Miguel here is going to be the right tackle. Which... nose guard. Right or left guard? Right guard. You'll be the left guard. So then that leaves these guys. Do I want to designate them as something? Yeah, you can be a tackle. You can be interior. And we'll leave you on auto. You can play either or. Can we shrink the rotation to 5? This is a 3-4 after all. Alright, with that being said, I think you were our interior, our nose tackle. Which makes you an end, and end. Alright, the guy is coming in off the bench. 64 speed, 67 speed, 80 pursuit. Okay, you've got more speed and pursuit. Not the greatest speed, mind you, but play end, and you'll be the backup nose tackle. Alright, linebackers. I'm pretty sure we're looking at you as an interior middle linebacker. outside. Outside. Didn't realize how slow you were. Inside. Alright, the bench. The rotation can increase to 7 players. Very fast. Very good pursuit. Outside. Very strong. He can be inside, though his IQ isn't the greatest. Alright, he can just go wherever the game decides he should go. We'll leave him as a jack of all trades. Corners. Alright, well, the slowest of our cornerbacks is this guy. His man coverage is on the weaker side. His zone coverage is fairly decent. He's going to match up against slot receivers. Incredible speed, this Jason Snow. Holy crap, 104 speed. Outside. Outside. We'll leave these two guys on auto here. The game can fill in as needed. Look at the strength and speed on him. With that speed, I think we have to make him a free safety. But who's the starting free safety? Right, I think Caleb Manning has to be the starting free safety. His tackling is weaker. His zone coverage is better. The strange thing here is I think he's stronger. Where's his strength? Yeah, he's got 82 strength. He's technically stronger than who is going to be our starting strong safety, but our starting strong safety will have better tackling. Which then I think makes you the reserve strong safety. Yeah, he's slower. He's got good tackling. It's not that smart. This guy's a sophomore. He's going to be around a bit. Alright, kicker. Obviously. Yep. Punter. Looks about right. Return specialist. Quincy Harrington. Yes. Okay. This is looking really good. Game plan. Who are we throwing to this year? Quincy Harrington is going to be our primary target. Coming out of the backfield, we're going to throw to Zachary. And Curtis Dillard, our tight end, is he going to be our third option? Yeah, he can be the third option. Whew, 83. Wow. Army is predicted to win, are they? We match up pretty comparably. Alright, let's look at the division. What's what do we have going on in the division? We are absolutely the most talented team in the division. It's not even a contest. Central Michigan has a talented offense. We should probably keep an eye on that. Toledo is, as expected, the number 2 team on our side of the bracket. Miami, Ohio, who is usually the top of this bracket, is maybe slightly weaker than Ohio. Bowling Green isn't quite. Buffalo is a little down. Bowling Green and Buffalo, both of these teams are sometimes really good and sometimes not so good. I think of Miami, Ohio as our rival more than I think of Ball State as our rival. All right, I think it's looking it's looking very favorable for us to win the conference. We have the best offense and the best defense in the conference. All right, and we're starting off with a hard Army game. Let's look at our schedule. So rough game in game 1, fairly rough game in game 2, and then a very rough game down in week 11. Illinois, hard to say how rough that's going to be. 81 offense, 82 defense. It's not going to be a walk in the park. We should be able to win. So, key game, key game, key game, key game. So basically all of the out-of-conference games are kind of key games. And then the conference game to look at would be this Miami, Ohio. And maybe looking at Toledo or Central Michigan. Anyway, I think things are looking good for us. I'm James Johnson, aka Sulfur Blade. This is my content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If so, please smash that like button. Consider subscribing. And until the next time, all, peace.